Hi guys, it's Jan. Today, I wanted to talk about a few questions that I got from the ladies in my hair group on Facebook. A few weeks ago, when I brought up the idea about starting a YouTube channel, I asked the ladies maybe some questions they might want to ask that were topics that I could even bring up while doing videos. I found that they were great questions, and now I'm gonna try to answer them in a video. Okay, so the first question that I got was the normal, what products do you use in your hair? I have really been into using Diva Curl Decadence lately. I absolutely adore that line. I always try to be really frugal, especially with buying so many products, because you only have so much hair, so many days, so much time to apply it, and you end up just having tons and tons of product left over. Sometimes I find that they work, sometimes I find that they don't, sometimes they mix, sometimes they don't. So I have really tried, after about being natural for about 2 years now, I've really tried to be careful with how many products, because I know how easy it is to just get over your head with a ton of products. So what I normally use on an everyday basis now, and what has been my routine for the last few months, is when I wash and condition my hair, I use the Diva Curl Decadence, and I use their conditioner as a leave-in conditioner as well. So I wash my hair, I detangle it, I leave part of my conditioner in, so I'll just do a light rinse or just kind of get the water in while I'm brushing through it, and I will just simply go to styling my hair. So after that, what I use is Camille Rose's Curl Maker. This product is, as I've said before, an absolute staple in my regimen. I love it. It's a jelly texture, and I just find that it helps to really define my curls. It's not drying. It does take a long time to dry by itself, because I guess just of the consistency, but I find that using it with a gel helps to allow it to dry faster, and I feel that I have way more defined curls than I used to. I have not nearly as much frizz as I used to as well. After that, I usually use another Diva Curl product, which is their Ultra Defining Gel. I used to always use Eco Styler, and for the longest time I would use all of their kinds of gel. I used to use the argan oil one, I used to use the olive oil one, I even tried like their it was in a white container, it was like a multi together product from Eco Styler, and I just found that it was drying my hair out a lot. It was cheap, I could buy in a huge bottle, but in the end I found that I was having to bring in more products to try to maintain that balance in my hair and not allow my hair to be as dried out and frizzy after a few days. So that's kind of how I started just looking at other gels. I actually ended up purchasing the gel and had the hardest time with it when I initially purchased it, but in my giant collection of products, I eventually had their Ultra Defining Gel and their leave-in conditioner as well, just kind of sitting to the wayside. Which actually brings me to the next question, and will also kind of include how I ended up getting into Diva Curl again, as opposed to going back to the other gels. The second question that I received was what kind of hair texture I have. I was explained to, and from what I understand, I have a combination of curls, like I'm sure many of you do. Mine are a 3B, 3C, and I also believe, I'm not too positive, but I think that the section is like right here. It's a little bit of a different texture, it's a little drier, it's a little more frizzy. And with my products, they do come out looking the same as the rest of my hair, but it might be 40. It's a little bit more coily. My curls are a little, they're not as loose as the front and the bottom. It's just like, it's a very small section, but it still exists. The next question I was asked is if I had a diva cut or if I thinned out my hair. I didn't know that people thinned out their hair. I don't know how I didn't know this, but I did look and I did find some information. I guess people just do it as a way to, I guess, kind of be able to manage it more. I don't do that, obviously, because I didn't even know what it was. But actually, about 8 months ago, I went to New York City on a trip at a Diva salon. I absolutely loved it. It was a lot of money, I won't lie. But I feel because I didn't know what to do with it, I feel that it was a good investment, especially with it giving me a chance to get back and feel more confident in my curly hair again. For most of high school, my hair was naturally curly. I had very, very long hair. Like, this is some of the shortest hair I've ever had in my life. But my hair used to go down my back and it was curly, but I didn't know how to manage it. So I was using, the really cheap gels because I wash my hair like almost every day. I didn't know about not washing your hair every day. So it would be very hard, very crunchy, very dry. I'd have the split ends, the whole bit. So after I finished high school, I started straightening it a lot because I discovered my best friend, her mom, she would use Silk Elements, and they had a specific spray, which was actually the heat protection spray that I spoke about in my previous video. I started using that and it totally changed my hair world. It really did. And I started straightening my hair a lot, so it was good and bad because I used to not use any hair protection cream or any hair protection spray. And I started straightening my hair a lot, and then I realized, being during summertime and stuff, it was too hard to try and maintain, so I started relaxing my hair. That lasted for about 3 or 4 years. It definitely damaged my hair a lot back. And I remember when I had my actual first relaxer when I was about 13, I want to say. I used to have still very long hair, and it was just so difficult for me to manage. My mom finally said, if you want to put a relaxer in, because my mom uses a relaxer, my sister does, well, she did at that time, and she was like, if you would like to, we can go ahead and relax your hair. So I did that, and I remember I got done with it and I immediately was like running to the bathroom to start putting the products in, like I always do while it was still wet before it got too frizzy. And my sister was like, you poor baby, it's okay, your hair isn't going to do that anymore. And then I kind of just let it grow out from there, and over the next couple of years it just completely grew out, got clipped off, and my hair went back to being curly. So once I was in college, I started straightening it, and about 2 years ago my best friend got married. And I have to say, up until that time, every time my hair would start to grow out, I realized how much I missed my curls. But with her wedding coming up, it was just too hard. It was a very stressful time in my life, and dealing with the wedding on top of it was very stressful. And instead of trying to fight with my hair, I just opted to go ahead, do one last relaxer, and I said after that, no more. So that's what I did. So the end of July was the last time I relaxed my hair, and that was 2 years ago. 2003. No, it's 3 years ago. Wow. I can't believe it's been that much time. But yes, so I grew my hair out for almost 3 years now. So I decided to trim off all my straight ends, and it left my hair extremely short. It was bad. It was like up to here. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to cut curly hair because my mom always cut it for me. And I eventually decided that because we were going to New York City, that I wanted to make this appointment. I wanted to do something for me. I decided to cut and color my hair. So I had initially cut off as many straight ends as I had back in April, and we went to New York in October. I went, and I have to say, they were the nicest people. Like, I was very nervous. There are 2 things in life that make me extremely nervous: the doctor and people touching my hair. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. Like, it gives me the same anxiety almost to know that somebody's gonna be doing something to my hair. You hear so many horror stories about how people have just totally hacked your hair off. So it was kind of tough, but I figured if I was gonna do this, I wanted to go to someone that I was sure knew what to do for my hair, knew how to care for my hair. And I have to say it was well worth it. I was happy with it. Like I said, it was very expensive, but I was happy. And so when I went, the guy who cut my hair, he just, went around. I explained to him what I did, and at the time, like I said, I was using the Giovanni leave-in conditioner and the Eco Styler. And I think at that time I was probably using the curl maker. I think I had just begun using it. And so, he was like, oh, it looks great, just keep using what you're using. You don't have to use Diva curl things, which is something that I feel that so many people feel if they go to a Diva salon, they're going to be told, no, you need to use our product. They did not tell me that. It was like, hey, your hair looks good, keep doing what you're doing. So he trimmed it, and it did, whoop, it went back up. It was about this length when he cut it. So when he trimmed it off, of course, if you cut really curly hair, it flies up. So when he trimmed it, he did a fantastic job. He clipped off all the straight and damaged ends that I had and truly gave my hair a really nice new start. Then I decided to get it colored. And the first time when I went over there, I waited for a while, but then the lady who did my hair thought I had dyed my hair black. She said it was very dark, and my hair isn't black. My hair has always been a dark brownish red. It goes in all my family, so it comes out black, but then once it grows out, it's like a very just dark brown reddish color. And so when I went, she was like, oh, I suggest you come back another day and we can take all the color out. I'm like, no, I had color a long time ago that, I just did box color at home. But I'm like, it might only be like that much left in my hair. So that's all that was left after he had cut out what was there from before. She was gonna say that I needed to do like a reverse. I don't know how to explain it. It's like it basically helps to fix your hair back to the natural color, so it will take the dye. So when she did it, she was like, no, your hair is too dark. But I used to always use the gel because it did make it darker. So I had the gel in my hair, and when she was trying to get it apart to dye it, it was so dry and just stuck together. It sounded like she was almost trying to rip my hair. Like, I know she wasn't, but she's like, oh my god, this gel. She's like, what do you use? Oh my god, it's like glue. And so I explained it was the Eco Styler. She's like, this stuff really dries your hair out. Like, it looks good, but if you're to do anything that is gonna slightly move your hair, it'll end up ripping it, it'll just dry it out. So what she ended up doing was, she did try to dye my hair. She was concerned that it wouldn't take, but she was like, I don't understand, your hair just took it. I was like, not even gonna try to explain about the whole hair color. I know my hair looks very dark as opposed to what my hair looks like when I don't put anything in it at all. So my hair looks very dark with this gel. That was kind of the whole point of it, but it's fine. It took good. So she did a deep conditioning treatment on my hair as well, and she also styled it. I fell absolutely in love with their hair mask, and I buy like 2 bottles in the whole year, maybe. One is usually a present from my parents. I get the Heaven in Hair from them as well, because I felt after I had that done, my hair was completely different. I know it needed the cut, but the moisture that product gave me was just like moisture 10-fold, 100-fold. I don't even know. It was amazing, okay? So after that, she just dyed it, and she used the ultra defining gel, which I already had, and she also used the Believe-In leave-in conditioner, which I really did like, but I don't feel that it's necessary for me to have to purchase both, because they're equally about the same, and I feel like the curl maker goes a lot longer. It stretches way more on your hair. Like, one pump can take care of half your head, and that's what you want in a product. The product that'll last 2 or 3 months. It might be a little bit more expensive. It might be like the $20, but it's well worth it if you know you can keep it for 3 months. It's, in my opinion, worth it. So when I came home, I started doing that regimen, and I did like it. I even tried the spray. She used a spray after, and I don't remember the name of it, but it was kind of like almost a setting spray. Oh, set me free, set it free, something along those lines. And it just was to help contain the frizz. I used it, and on my own, for some reason, it just did not work. I don't know what happened. It didn't work though. So after that, I haven't really trimmed it at all because of just stuff I have not been taking enough time to take care of myself and make up a regimen. But now that I've moved, I have, as I said before, I'm trying to start a whole new, better taking care of myself regimen, which I also would love to share with you guys if you want to hear about it. But within that also means taking better care of my hair and taking better care of how often I wash it, how I treat it, how I moisturize it, the whole bit. It needs to be overall well cared for, as you are either learning or you already know. So yeah, that's how I get my hair quite like this. I had a Diva cut. It was my first one. It's been my last one because I can't afford it. But I did learn how to clip my ends, specifically on curly hair, which I will be more than happy to do another tutorial on. And the last question that we had was where I buy my products from. Okay, so when it comes to this, I am totally gonna say that I'm definitely cheap. I really am. And as a result, I buy all of my products, or at least 95% of my products, off of Amazon. And the reason I do is because I have Amazon Prime. I absolutely adore having Amazon Prime. As many things as we get, I buy most of my products off of Amazon. Especially my Diva Curl Decadence. It is the only place that I purchase it because the amount that it takes to purchase it from Diva Curl, I go and I will save about $20 to $30 depending on the sale. So the amount of money that I was using on Shea Moisture, which used to be my go-to, I purchased just as much with them. I would try to catch the sales like at Walgreens and such, but in the end it was just too difficult for me to always find where the sale was, and sometimes it wouldn't have sales for 2 or 3 months, and I would go through 2 or 3 bottles at max, like in a month or a month and a half. So for me, purchasing it in large quantity from Amazon was very helpful. And with Shea Moisture, it's a little bit harder to find on Amazon because the prices fluctuate so much. So yes, so I purchased Camille Rose. I actually was able to purchase it on a subscribe and save. And because I have so many things on there, I actually save 15%. So it's a little bit of money, but guess what? It saves up after a while. It really does, especially when you're on a budget. And also, I purchased my Ultra Defining Gel off of there. I think I purchase that gel once every 6 months. I just don't use that much of it. And it's such a big bottle, I don't need to. I also purchased my Heaven and Hair off of there. And I was purchasing the Giovanni leave-in conditioner. If you guys really like that, I definitely suggest that. I use their deep conditioning product all the time. When I don't use the Heaven and Hair, I more often use Giovanni because it's when my hair is in critical condition. I feel like the Heaven and Hair is fantastic, and I do use it. But for when I want to condition every week, or if I want to make my own DIY hair mask, I definitely suggest using Giovanni because it's a very thick texture, it's very hydrating, and it's cheaper. On Amazon, I can sometimes look up and get like 3 for $15 deals. You have to just look around, but sometimes I run across them, and that was when I was purchasing my leave-in conditioner as well as my deep conditioner. And otherwise, if I was to go to Target, which is the only place I have found it around here, it's still like $8 or $10, and I would go through a bottle of the Giovanni in like a week. Like, it was fantastic, but I would always use a lot of it. So yeah, I definitely suggest, if you do have access to that, or if you enjoy it, using Amazon. I definitely suggest purchasing them off of there. I have saved so much money because of it. Where I lived in Florida, they had a lot, but they didn't. Not specifically for natural hair or curly hair. So like Miss Jessie's and Carol's Daughter, you could only find that in like Target if you were lucky. And when I tell you, like, you have a whole row of hair care, you'd have like this much of natural hair products, which can include olive oil products. Carol's Daughter, they did not carry Camille Rose where I lived until literally the month before I moved away. Yeah, I waited all this time, made sure it was on, subscription, and then they started selling it. Which is fine. I didn't really lose that much, because then if I hadn't been trying to continue to purchase it, I feel like I would have missed out on learning about other products as well. So, you win, you lose. Different things come out. Walmart now sells Miss Jessie. That is amazing. I used to love Mixed Chicks. I felt like it was definitely one of my biggest loves when I started finding ways to do my hair when I was transitioning. But my only issue with Mixed Chicks was about the parabens. That was a big issue. I've seen a lot of women have issues about that, but other than that, it was my absolute favorite product before I found Camille Rose and started using Diva Curl. So if you ever find that they stop putting it in, let me know, and I will definitely be more than happy, because I also used to buy a huge bottle off of Amazon of Mixed Chicks as well. It was also 32 fluid ounces, I believe. But yeah, so I hope that answered some of your questions. Let me know if you have any more, and please like and subscribe, as I will be trying to put up a video every week. It will normally be on Fridays, so I'm going to try to stick with Fridays and see where it goes from there. Thanks again for watching, guys. Bye.